34. 34. Love, 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 34. Love, 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 34. Love, 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 34. And this is, yeah, yeah, yo-ha, Solex, yeah, Solex. Select on me. Select on me, so you ain't gonna find me. You're gonna find some other things too there. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Love, love, love. But these videos are about love, love, love. Love, love, love in many different ways, you know. Love, love, love. And again, this video is just another extension of, that self-love and appreciation for oneself. And there's a lot of these videos because I can I tell you? Can I tell you just how important this is? Because it's really important. It's really important. Your life is molded and shaped by how you feel about yourself. You want to know something? You want to know something? That's something. That's something. You want to know something? That's something. Your life is molded and shaped by how you feel about yourself, the type of people that you attract in your life, the type of friends that you have in your life is generally a reflection about who you are as a person and how you feel about yourself. Really. I mean, really. So, how you feel about yourself is really your life. Your life is somewhat of a reflection of what's going on in the outside is generally a reflection of what's coming from the inside. Okay? So, I mean, and that's, just remember, this is all from the root of love, love, love. This all comes from the root of love, 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 to bring forth awareness. From love, 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 from a place of love, love, love. So, this is, it could be judgmental to say this, of course, to an extent to say that, however you're presenting yourself on the outside is generally a reflection of who you are on the inside. And that can be complicated too, to sit there and say that because, I'm this way because of that, and let's not make excuses. Let's just face the truth, because what does the truth do? What does the truth do? The truth is set you free. The truth is tries to set you free. So how you ever present yourself on the outside is generally going to be a reflection of who and how you feel about yourself on the inside. And that's not to be judgmental in any way, shape, or form. That is just a very basic truth. One time I had a friend of mine come to the door, and I knew him as a friend, and he had nicer clothes. He had nicer shoes. But for some reason, he always wore the crappiest looking clothes that were dirty and had holes in them. And his shoes were filthy and disgusting. And more often than not, those were the kinds of clothes that he wore. And I wanted to say something. I was like, dude, come on, man, you got nicer clothes than that. Why do you feel like you got to wear dirty shirts and holy shirts? And and he just, the way that he presented himself was just like a reflection of, honestly, about how he felt about himself inside. And, this is like an epidemic it's like an epidemic probably in the world, really. And again, we're coming from a place of love, 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 to try to bring some awareness so that you can ascend, my friend, to a different level in your life, all right? So just for me to say these things and then just kind of start taking notes, and start looking around you and stuff like that. And, but then by the same token, people also can try to force a certain way by the way they present themselves to also bring forth a false narrative too. let's just say, gosh, and how can you say things with just out saying them? The person that thinks that they need to wear the brand name all the time, the brand name this, the brand name that, the brand name this, and the brand name that, in wearing all this brand name stuff to try to put forth this facade of somebody that they're not, inside. And that's, you could sit there and say, okay, well, that's judgmental too, because, well, why can't I just because I wear it, just because, why can't I just because that's not the point. It's the ones that I think, in my opinion, go overboard with it. And you see them out there. The ones that are like totally overboard with it, that have all the brand name, fancy schmancy dancy, whatever it is, to try to put forth this untruth out there of somebody that they're not. But it's like it's a very common, very easy thing to do, is to try to attach yourself with the physical and the things that are on the outside, because it's because what's on the people pretty much bring up to the fact that what's on the outside is who I am on the inside, and that's not the truth. That's not the truth at all. No, it's not the truth at all. Not the truth at all. So that can be very kind of a dynamic, that's just a dynamic that's going on in humanity to begin with. And just take a note about how you present yourself and how you feel about yourself by the way that you take care of yourself is going to show on the outside. Yeah. So that's one way. I mean, obviously you can kind of take notes and take a look at, that for you. I'll take that look, that for you. And, eobviously, economies of scale. So sometimes there isn't just well, let's just see, a simple bare bones. Instead of wearing a pair of dirty old shoes, why don't you get some soap and a scrub brush and clean them? So, I mean, these are just little simple things, but the whole point and what we're trying to do here is have a little bit of self-love and self-appreciation for each other by taking the time to do the little things that matter. And you may not think these things matter, but when you start to take charge and do those little things, and you'll see the changes in them. And I'm telling you, man, we as human beings on this planet are very sensitive to everything. If there's one thing in my life that was brought forth to my attention, and that is, as human beings, we are extremely sensitive as people, and you see this more in children a lot. You see a more intense version of how sensitive that we really are on a deep level just like I said, like I shared a little comment about, one thing was said to me one time and that had an effect on me for years. And you can say something to somebody one time and it registers them, and then they carry that for the rest of their lives. So we as people are extremely sensitive. So when you can take little things in your life and make subtle changes to do certain things, it's going to have an impact on your life. One of the examples I've talked about before, surround yourself in a clean and organized environment. Take the time to clean up and put yourself in an organized environment. Like I was telling you about my friend that, used to always wear dirty clothes and ratty old shoes and filthy shoes and stuff like that. Boy, the inside of his house, man. And, I used to go in there and help him. And I remember one time I went in there and I organized and I cleaned his kitchen really good. And I organized a lot of his cupboards and I took care of everything. And boy, I tell you, just watching him come in his kitchen and look around and go, yeah. So we as humans are very, 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 very sensitive. So the subtle, small things that we can do, creating an environment that's organized and cleaned up and picked up, are one of those things that help nurture ourselves. Here's something funny, and it just comes to my mind right now, so I will mention it. And that's the fact that every once in a while, I'll buy myself flowers, because why? Because I like flowers. They're pretty, and you go up to them and they're soft and they smell good, and
It almost feels good to smell flowers, you know? I mean, you smell the flower,
and then you breathe it in, and it kind of brings in that nice feeling and everything, you know, which makes me feel better. And so that's one little thing you can do there too if you want to. You don't have to wait for somebody to give them to you. Get them for yourself. Shrod, get them for yourself.